Hey folks, gonna do another Chamber of Chills video. Only this time, this is not the Marvel Chamber of Chills. This is the Harvey pre-code Chamber of Chills. Pre-code being the era from, say, 1950 to 1955, loosely before the comics code came in. And the reason the comics code came in was primarily for comics like this, horror comics, crime comics that parents got to look at, and they didn't think kids should be seeing this type of stuff. So anyways, I do not have a complete run of the Harvey Chamber of Chills, just simply because at one time I was trying to buy all the pre-code I could, but let's face it, books from that age are not cheap, so even when I was buying them back in the 90s, when they were more affordable, once they became popular, they almost got out of reach. I can't even really justify buying a pre-code horror comic these days. So as you see, like on this one here, which is number 22, the sticker says $35. I think I got this from a dealer named Harley Yee out of Michigan. I don't know if anyone remembers him or not. But I probably did not pay 35 bucks for this at the time in the 90s. But anyways, this is issue number 22 of Chamber of Chills. I think this came out in 51. This is not actually number 22. This is number 2. What happened was, back in the day, number 1 issues were not as popular as they are now, so this was another title. I think it was like Blondie and Dagwood or something. I could be totally wrong on that. But anyways, what publishers did was they wanted to have... wanted to show continuity. They wanted to show distributors, because remember, back in the day, comics were not just sold in comic book shops, they were sold everywhere, grocery stores, pharmacies, whatnot. But they wanted to show that the title had some sort of continuity and was popular. So the higher number it had on it, then it kind of showed that, you know, it was more of a good seller. They didn't like to start books with number 1. So anyways, look at this cover. Pretty cool, kind of indicative of the first few issues of Chamber of Chills. I think the first 4 issues are actually like number 21, 22, 23, and 24. But yeah, Cosmo's aging machine, pretty freaky. But yeah, a lot of bondage on these first few issues. Moving on, here is Chamber of Chills. Now, this one, by now, we've caught up to regular numbering. This is number 6. And I think the postmaster in the U.S. Post Office at the time has something to do with this. If they got caught misnumbering their issues, they were forced to correct it. And you see by now we have a different style of art. Except here, where, again, in the background there is a girl in bondage. But I like this one. This is a Seduction of the Innocent issue. Seduction of the Innocent was a book, like an anti-comic book by a guy named Dr. Frederick Wortham. I think he was a psychiatrist or psychologist, something, who thought that comic books helped lead to juvenile delinquency, and was a big reason that the comics code came about. It's number 7, by the way. Here's number 8. Nice Lee Elias mummy cover. Some people say his name is Lee Elias. I don't know. Whichever works for me. Number 9. Kind of cool. It's like a Frankenstein theme there. This is a cool cover. 15. Oh yeah, here we go. Everyone wants this issue. This is the old Misfits ripoff for their Die Die My Darling EP. Number 19. This one's gotten a lot of mileage over the years. Love this cover. 24. $26. And then, before the comics code kicked in, they changed the title to Chamber of Clues to try to get away from the horror type thing. But you see the dude's still in bondage. Anyways, another reason I quit collecting the pre-codes other than the price. And, well, I shouldn't say this. Just by fortune, later on down the road, after I already quit collecting pre-code, to be honest, these Harveys got reprinted. This is a soft cover. This has issues 11 to 15. I picked this up at Half Price Books, probably pretty cheap. And this one, cover 16 to 20, if you can't read. These are published by PS Art Books. Yeah, see, I paid like $7.99 for this at Half Price Books. And if you don't like the soft covers, and if you can find them, they have these also in hardcover. And I got this one on sale for actually $7.99, the same price as the soft cover. What's cool about these is they have a foreword, and these are also, the hardbacks are a little bit more detailed as far as the history of the title, the background of the creators, so on and so forth. I do have another one here. This is issues 20 to 26. So there you have it, folks. A little look at Harvey, Chamber of Chills, at least my collection. Great title. Love it. You all should check it out. See ya.